Happening now, the financial troubles continue for the Chautauqua Mall, plus the topic of this past week's Pride Festival in Jamestown.
Well, looking at the Warren City Bank, you can see the rainfall coming down. We've got more of that this afternoon, plus cooler air. We'll talk about it next as the news at noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
The Chautauqua Mall's owner has filed for Chapter 11 financial reconstruction. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Ohio-based Washington Prime Group announced the news last night, citing the pandemic's financial challenges with store closures at both the Chautauqua County location and nationwide. The business reports it secured $100 million in new money debtor in possession financing from consenting creditors to support the day-to-day operations during this legal process. The company has also filed several customary first-day motions in bankruptcy court that will allow the group to continue its operations. Now, earlier this year, the business missed a $23.2 million interest payment, plummeting its stock price. Well, Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties will each receive over $160,000 in funding to help support local emergency response operations. The money is made available through the state's Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services. Chautauqua County was granted $165,000, while Cattaraugus County received $180,000. The grant will reimburse public safety facilities that receive incoming calls for help and initiate dispatching of emergency services. Aid will not only help county operators, but it will also foster upgrades in call taking and dispatching technologies and investing in new services like the text to 911 messaging, data communications, and an improved geolocation for emergency response as well. These awards were part of a $10 million program from New York State to make improvements to their 911 response and emergency dispatch operations. Well, Jamestown's first ever Pride Festival worked to highlight the importance of transgender rights and fairness to those in the LGBTQI+ community over the weekend. WNY News Now's Julia Gress joining us live to talk more about what was discussed. Julia.
Justin, with support from the Pride Steering Committee and organizer Sheridan Smith, the event took shape Saturday after a year on hold due to COVID-19. Festivities kicked off with a flag raising at City Hall, where Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist joined those in the transgender community to support their rights.
If you are a transgendered individual, person of the trans community, and you need to change your name, you need to change your gender, you need to change anything about what the government has given you, you need to go through state Supreme Court. And what you face are judges that have no idea what it's like to live your life, what it's like to have to make that a public information about changing a part of you that was assigned at birth or assigned by the government.
That's why Sundquist says vying for a judicial candidate, Grace Hanlon, to the state court is important for the Pride community.
To have a member of the LGBT community be a judge, the first judge in this history of our district, of the 8 counties of Western New York, to be an LGBT judge that knows what that feeling is like, is something we have never seen.
Longtime advocate for LGBTQIA+ rights, Helen Walters, was among those in the transgender community who spoke out about the importance of hosting the affair.
Pride is our defense. The first thing that the people who want to put us back into the closet do is try to shame us. Every criticism of the LGBTQ community has the phrase "shame on you" attached to it. You're a sinner, shame on you. It's unnatural, shame on you. You're abusing children, shame on you. Shame is the tool they try to use to push us back into the closet. And the way to fight that shame is to say, hell no, I don't buy that premise. I am proud of who I am. I am proud of who I present myself to be.
The group then honored victims of the 2016 Pulse nightclub shooting. Festivities continued throughout the day and into the evening, highlighting the importance of allyship and accepting those who are different. In studio, Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. Well, the third annual Exceptional Stars Athletics baseball game represented a series of normalcy yesterday afternoon at Lions Field in the village of Falconer. That's according to ESA Director Rich Bianco, who tells us following the two-inning contest featuring dozens of students on each team. Bianco says last year's game, which was held in August at a point where mask wearing was required for all participants. The Falconer Central School District teacher explains that this year's game represented a welcome change from the years past.
And it was nice to be able to get back to a little bit of normalcy. Baseball is a sport that's open right now in the state, and so we were really lucky that we could see the smiles on the kids' faces again this year.
At each ESA event, he says the athletes have a buddy participate with them. The organization's mission statement says that children with special needs are given the opportunity to partake in athletic events that they normally wouldn't be able to play in. He says everyone who plays is a winner. And certainly you can see it with their faces. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Lots of smiles there yesterday in Falconer. We appreciate you joining us. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. Good to see Bill. Good to see Tracy. Good to see Butch, Joseph, and Harley Rose as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day out there. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us with that, and it looks like there's a few rain showers out and about there today.
Yes,
Dakota.
there are this morning. We're dealing with some wet weather out there this morning, which is good. It's all good. We need the rain here. And you can see on the satellite and radar composite, this is the first batch of rain that's moving on through. We're going to have another batch that's going to come through this afternoon. But there actually has been a couple lightning strikes down across Warren County, Pennsylvania. So there is a couple thunderstorms down in that direction. But across the southern tier, it's been mainly just rain as of right now. But those will intensify to maybe some thunderstorms later this afternoon. 80 was the high yesterday for Sunday. We started the day at 54, 92, and 35 are the record highs and lows for this day. So through the afternoon, those first round of showers and thunder showers end. Then we see scattered showers and storms developing for the afternoon hours. Much cooler and less humid than it has been. 67 at the immediate Lake Erie waterfront to 73 while inland with a northwest wind. That's part of the reason why it's cooler today. That northwest wind always is going to keep us cooler. Now, we do see some dry weather in that 7-day, plus the cool air looks like it's here to stay. We'll talk about it in full detail with that 7-day forecast coming up later in the show. Justin?
All right, Dakota, about 8 to 10 minutes time. We'll see you back here. Thank you. There appears to be a fourth strong COVID-19 vaccine. This morning, Novavax announced its vaccine is over 90% effective against the virus and its variants. That's according to the results from its phase 3 trial. The data also showed 100% effectiveness against moderate to severe COVID cases. More than 29,000 people in the U.S. and Mexico participated in it. Additional analyses are currently ongoing. Now, according to the company's findings, they're consistent with a trial conducted in the United Kingdom as well. More than 64% of U.S. adults now have received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine, and more than 53% are fully vaccinated, according to the CDC. With new cases dropping, many Americans are hitting the road this summer, but as travel increases, so does some new concerns. Meredith Wood breaking those down.
You masked up, you got vaxxed up, and now it's time for you to get up, get out of the house this summer.
Cities across the U.S. reopen as more Americans are feeling comfortable hitting the road. National parks are seeing record numbers of visitors. In anticipation of the increased travel, United Airlines says it expects to bring back most of its workforce by the fall. And the TSA is warning they do not have the staffing to deal with the summer surge, even asking some of its office workers to help at checkpoints. But it's not all smooth sailing.
We have to shut down our entire economy if we have a surge.
The governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands, a popular cruising destination, is concerned what the return of ships will mean for his people.
to have travelers that we're not assured of that have been vaccinated or at least PCR tested is traumatic. And when you talk about places like these small islands, they have one hospital.
2 passengers aboard Celebrity Millennium's first post-pandemic voyage testing positive for coronavirus, despite the company requiring everyone on board to be vaccinated.
We hear that these people are asymptomatic, and it's going to be important over time to see, are there other people who subsequently became infected as a result of these 2 people who are in isolation now.
I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
Meredith, thank you. Coming up, a lot more to tell you about the acts of kindness performed by Jamestown's finest. And later, a look at a locally filmed movie that premieres this week. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues on this wet and rainy Flag Day.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Honest John's has what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
Have the best summer ever with endless adventures at Girl Scout Summer Camp. Financial aid available, open to all girls. For more information, call or go to gswny.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A safety campaign to increase pedestrian and driver awareness of each other is now underway in New York. Operation See, Be Seen runs through June 24th, featuring new public service announcements on radio, television, and social media, along with additional billboards throughout the state. Police officers will take measures to decrease pedestrian-involved crashes by educating the public about their safety laws and issuing warning notices or tickets when necessary. The type of violations that will be targeted include motorists failing to yield to pedestrians in a crosswalk or pedestrians crossing against the orange do not walk hand. Now, according to a recent report, New York had 51 fewer pedestrian fatalities in 2020 compared to 2019, an 18% reduction, while nationally pedestrian fatalities were up nearly 5%. Well, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer demanded Republicans join Democrats to subpoena former Attorney General Bill Barr and Jeff Sessions. The announcement yesterday comes after reports that the Trump Justice Department subpoenaed Apple for data from key House Democrats. The list includes staff and family members, including one minor.
Sessions and Barr must testify under oath as part of a formal congressional investigation. Because this revelation that the Trump Justice Department subpoenaed personal phone data of members of Congress, including a minor, those revelations are just shocking. This was nothing less than a gross abuse of power, an assault on the separation of powers.
Senator Schumer also wants to hear testimony from John Demers. He's the Assistant Attorney General in charge of the National Security Division. The Senate Majority Leader says if they refuse to testify, they'll be subpoenaed and compelled to do so under oath. Well, a busy start to the week for President Joe Biden. Today, he'll take part in his first in-person NATO summit since taking office. And Wednesday, he'll sit down one-on-one with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Britt Conway with a look at what's ahead as we could expect from both meetings.
Today, we've had a national tragedy.
September 11th, 2001.
2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center.
September 12, 2001, NATO invoked Article 5 for the first time in its history. An armed attack against one shall be considered an attack against them all.
We believe NATO and Section 5 is a sacred obligation.
President Joe Biden is in Brussels today with plans to reaffirm that commitment during the NATO summit, which brings together the leaders of all 30 allied nations. The White House laid out key summit expectations, with a focus on issues like NATO itself, its framework, financing, and strength of partnerships, cybersecurity, and climate change. Military withdrawal from Afghanistan will also be discussed, along with strategy in regard to China and Russia, which will be front and center in Geneva Wednesday, where preps are underway for Biden's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
We are looking to resolve those actions which we think are inconsistent with international norms.
I think he's going to meet a very different president than one who was at the mercy of Putin.
If Russia chooses to continue reckless and aggressive actions, we will respond forcefully.
Both summits give Biden unique opportunities to strengthen global partnerships and reassert American leadership on the world stage. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Britt, thank you. Well, back here at home, officers with the Jamestown Police Department made a special visit congratulating a local youth whose cancer is now in remission. Officers Johnson and Swan took time while patrolling the city last week to visit with Michael, who just received the news that his cancer is in remission. The officers let the youth sit in their driver's seat of their squad car and even taught him how to trigger the siren. As the siren kicked in, Michael's face lit up with joy. The department also shared some photos you see here online. One of the photos shows him wearing the police vest with radio attached. Now, back in September, the youth received a diagnosis of B-cells acute lymphoblastic leukemia. However, after undergoing months of treatment, he's now in clinical remission. Even while battling the disease, his mom says the fifth grader maintained honor roll the whole time. Police also shared photos of the officers posing with Michael, and one of them, as you see there, showing off the smile. Certainly an incredible day. And I think that's why this area is so great, right? Is that it seems like everybody's able to connect on that level. We certainly wish Michael the best. We thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. We always love to hear from you. Simply drop your name and say hello if you have nothing to say. Good to see Jinder. Good to see Samantha. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Michael, and good afternoon to Carl as well. Michael says, happy birthday, Justin. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in and celebrating with us a little bit today. I know I'm looking forward, Dakota, to kind of a quiet afternoon. I'm going to go out to lunch with my mom here in a little bit.
Don't say the word quiet.
I know. I say that, and then I get jinxed, and some craziness happens, and I get pulled away. It's like the woes of the news. But at the end, I had an excellent weekend. Just chilling out in Jamestown, and I know you were busy over at the Pride Fest. I see you got a sticker. That looks good.
I put it right on my suit jacket. So if anybody has any hate mail, please send it to me, dakota.hunter@wnyNewsNow.com.
Yeah, I don't know why they'd have any hate mail. It looked like it was an excellent festival, and
it was
really awesome that you were able to attend, represent our organization. I just want to say thank you, because you did an excellent job, very fair coverage, and really, I think, remarkable. You look at it, the first ever Pride Festival in Jamestown, and it was great to see the real media in attendance. It really was. So it was good to see you, good to see the WRFA and the radio stations as well. Everybody, I think, coming out together to really celebrate that. And weather-wise, it was pretty good and hot. That's the thing. I spent some time at the National Comedy Center on Saturday celebrating my birthday, and thank God they have air conditioning, because I imagine being on the street, it probably was a pretty sweltering time out there.
Well, it wasn't really hot on Saturday. Yeah. It's just that the UV index was up there. So, the sun was out there, and my arms on Saturday got a little red.
Yeah.
So,
you got your
that's why
tanning
you need, tanning. That's why you need to have the sunscreen, folks, especially on days when the UV index is really high. But speaking about the rain here, we need the rain. This is the yearly rainfall total as we run at the Jamestown Airport, 13.64 inches. That's starting at the beginning of the year. We should be at over 19 and a half inches. That creates a rainfall deficit of over 5 3/4 inches is our current rainfall deficit for the year. So in the words of Luke Bryan, rain is a good thing. And we've got it falling downtown right now from the top of the Doubletree Hotel. Pair of 5s as a noon hour right now, a variable wind of 6, but we do have a wind chill index of 54 degrees, so only 1 degree below the actual air temperature is what it feels like. Tonight, the Tarp Skunks at home once again. They are playing the Niagara Power at home tonight. We are hopeful the rain will clear out and they should be able to play the game. Again, ground conditions are pending. We'll have to see how the field is. But at 67 degrees, first pitch there at 7 o'clock, down to around 60 degrees by the 9th inning. We're hopeful the rain will clear out and we'll have a good night for baseball here in Jamestown once again. All right, we do have a low-end marginal risk. That's a level 1 on a scale of 1 to 5 for the southern tier in northwestern Pennsylvania today. And the severe weather threat is relatively low, same as it was yesterday, but we could see an isolated severe storm or two. This is the biggest issue right down here across southern Warren County, south of Tidiu. Heavy storm about to cross south of Warren. And then as we swing you up into Chautauqua County, a big mass of rain, no lightning being detected in this, but just a big old mass of rain coming on through. And that's the first batch. You'll see FutureScan has it pointed out very well for you. And then we may get into a few showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon, even though it's not really depicted here. They could pop up through the afternoon. Tonight, after those rain showers clear out, partly to mostly cloudy, and then there will be a small chance for a rain shower tomorrow. Otherwise, partial sunshine will take us through the day. Want to do a quick look on the tropics because we now have our second tropical depression of the hurricane season. Tropical depression number 2 has formed off of the North Carolina coast, moving northeast at 21 miles an hour. And the National Hurricane Center is monitoring another area south, just north of Mexico in the Gulf of Mexico here. This has a 60% chance of formation. When Tropical Depression 2 forms into a tropical storm, it'll be given the name Tropical Storm Bill. And if this forms into a tropical storm, it'll be given the name Claudette. So 52 to 58 tonight, early showers and a cooler night. Here comes the future. Now tomorrow I've got 71, 68 on Wednesday. Should be drier and cooler, a milder day Thursday. Sun is back, a few more showers on Friday, 77. Saturday, the first half of the weekend, looking wetter than the second half. So Sunday will be your pick day of the weekend. We'll take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
A Pan-American film shot in Gary is set to debut this Friday. WNY News Now's Jason Ruttman with more on the scope of the work.
Mr. Hansen says I should be using my walker now, for the disability case, but it's so embarrassing. And the neurologist says I can't drive anymore. I told you that, right?
Titled Mother's Day, the project is based on a true story about how mental illness changed the relationship between a mother and her son. The film is directed by Travis Carlson, who was born in Gary and whom the story is based upon. The movie features Art Voice Award winner Lisa Ludwig and actor Michael Charles Wagner.
Shot in one continuous take. It's about a son trying to convince his mother, played by
me, to think about the risks of a lot of life-changing decisions that she's been making.
The feature is a grassroots effort made possible by donations and volunteers. The project aims to raise awareness around mental illness and the impact it can have on loved ones.
So much medication, you know, for the anxiety and the pain and everything.
The screenplay will premiere on June 18th at the North Park Theater in Buffalo.
There's going to be a red carpet, fancy clothes, a Q&A, the whole works.
breaking out my suit.
I might wear my costume.
Furthermore, on June 21st at 7 p.m., a panel of mental health experts will hold a focused talkback event as well. More information, the official trailer, and a note from director Travis Carlson can be found online at panamericanfilms.com/Mother's-Day. Jason Ruttman, WNY News Now.
Jason, thank you. Important conversation, I think, to have. And we talk about this quite a bit. I think even last week, Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell was among those who held a virtual forum online that we covered, talking about the importance of mental health and substance abuse. And you look at this film and you think of some people who suffer with, say, a mental illness of some sort. You don't always think about their family and the impact that it has on them, because even though they may not be physically impacted like their loved one is, but nevertheless, they also are mentally impacted too, of having to see them suffer through it. And I think in some instances too, I'd imagine it's probably pretty tiring to have to go through that. So it'll be interesting to see. I look forward to seeing that flick and kind of the real story that it highlights, and a story that, you know, isn't just something that America, the nation as a whole, we're dealing with, but, you know, right here in Gary, New York. So kudos to the director there for kind of telling that story, and maybe in the end they might be able to help some other people out there too.
And I mean, I'm one of the people who's right in that boat. I mean, I suffer with a huge depression issues, and so I mean, I totally understand how one day you're feeling awesome and then the next day you're just like absolutely horrible. And it's just these swings, and a lot of people suffer with it. And and the one thing that I don't think is normalized is dealing with mental health, like because especially if you're a guy, it's said that guys don't show emotion. It's like that's not the manly thing to do. Well, it's like you should be able, as a man, you should be able to cry when you feel sad or whatever, or just have somebody there who can just listen to you vent about whatever the issue may be.
And at the end of the day, I think that's what it's about, is having a good friend, right? Having a good support system. Not everybody has that, but there are resources out there to assist people who maybe do suffer. So important to note, and I'm glad that they're going to be highlighting some of that, with not just the fact, okay, you'd watch this film for the entertainment value of it, but for the seriousness of, we want to try to help educate the community too, in that if you are struggling, you can get help. And I think you're a good testament to it, Dakota, is the fact that you can work through things like this and be a functional member of society.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to admit. I talk to a mental health counselor every month,
and it's important. It's an important aspect of everybody needs somebody to talk to. Absolutely. So it's great to see, and I'll look forward to check out that movie, and excellent work on the package there, Jason, as well. Well, let's get one more final peek at that 7-day forecast before we say au revoir for today.
Au revoir?
And I know today, au revoir, goodbye, right? Isn't that French?
I don't know.
For goodbye, I'm pretty sure.
71 tomorrow. I'm just moving on. A scattered shower chance tomorrow, turns drier Wednesday, but then the cooler air looks like it's here to stay. We don't see any signs of warm or at least muggy air for at least a while, Justin.
All right, Dakota. Good, good, good. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a break. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. We'll leave you with this look over Chautauqua Lake. That rain that we saw just a little while ago looks like it's already kind of moving on through. I see a little bit of brightness out there. Of course, if you missed anything we talked about, you can watch this show again here on Facebook Watch, on WNYNewsNow.com, and on our mobile app. Download it today in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.